Hi guys, and welcome to another video and video 2 for what I am now calling hobbymas. If you watched the first video, I didn't know what I was calling this because it's not really vlogmas, it's not really bookmas because I'm doing a mix of things. So I'm calling it hobbymas because it's mostly just me and my hobbies. So this is day 2 of hobbymas. I think there's another video out there that says that it's gonna be day 2, but I've changed my mind and I'm putting this one instead. So, but yes, welcome to today's video, and today we are going to be doing my journal ecosystem. It looks a lot different from other people's journal ecosystem, I think. And it's not like a lot of people have like the leather bound like refillable journals. Clearly I am not in that boat. So I've got 6 journals here to talk about. And yeah, so let's get into talking about my journals. We're gonna start with this one, which is my first one. This one is actually a stand-in. It's what I'm using currently in 2025, but I am getting a new one for 2026. I'm just still undecided as to whether or not I want another A5 or if I want a Traveler's. But this is just some cheap journal from Michaels. It's probably whatever brand Michaels journals are. I know their yarns are loops and threads, but I don't know what their journal brand is. But yeah, I actually might say in the back or the front. No, I don't know. But this is my commonplace bullet journal. I don't really have a name for it. It basically just holds to-do lists, or like these were notes when I was training at work, or this was when I was preparing for an interview, but then the rest is just like to-do lists and stuff. So my plan for next year is to create one like this, but I want it to be a little bit more organized. If you've ever watched Jashi Corin, I've never said her name out loud. Her channel, I really like the way she sets up her bullet journal for her weekly spreads and like her monthly dashboard. So that's kind of my idea for next year, how I want to set up, but it's going to be pretty simple. It's just mostly going to be for to-do lists and brain dumps, or like when I need to take down notes on information. So it's a little bit bullet journal-y, it's a little bit commonplacey. It's just what works for me. And I'm also hoping to get some reflections in it, because while I do have a journal that I was writing like, you know, dear journal, blah blah blah, I haven't touched that in like 5 years. That's why. 3 years. So I was like, maybe this will make that more accessible to me, because it'll be, I don't know, something I reach for every day anyways. So maybe something a little bit more reflection-y as well. But yeah, this one is definitely still a work in progress for next year, but we shall see. Now the next one is what I'm considering my knowledge commonplace journal. This is another Michaels brand bullet journal. This one I haven't used it a ton, but it's where I'm basically keeping notes for like free online classes that I do. So like I have notes from when I watched Brandon Sanderson's like writing a novel course. This page is blank. This is from when I'm taking an R online learning course for R through University of Toronto. So these are my notes for that, but other than that, it's pretty empty. So I am hoping to fill this up and take a few more free online classes to get this bad boy full. So that's what this one is. I'm calling it my knowledge commonplace. And then as you saw, there's a blank page like between courses. So this is my R stuff, and I'm going to try and make like title pages, but I haven't done that yet. And then this next one is along the same lines, but it looks very different. This is a ringed notebook, and it's soft rings, which I got because I'm left-handed, so I thought it might make it easier for me to write, you know. I haven't used it yet. I'm a little concerned because the pages are also really like smooth, so I'm worried I'm gonna smear pen. But this journal exists because I am going to start a Substack, well, hopefully start a Substack, where every month I'm going to post an in-depth species studies. So basically just go in-depth on a specific species or a group of species and to talk about them and make the science and the journal articles a little bit more accessible to the public without all that scientific jargon. So this is for my notes for that, because I really like handwriting notes for that kind of thing, and I love love me graph paper. I love writing notes on graph paper. You can't really see, but this is graphed. So I don't know why I don't like lined paper as much, but graph paper is the way to go when I'm taking notes. So, and it's smaller than like your usual like 5-star notebook. It's a little bit more, it's definitely not pocket sized, but it's not 11 by 8 printer paper sized. And then we're getting into my more fun journals. We have 3 here right now. This one is my scrapbook, junk journal, memory keeping thingamabob. This one is Beachmore Books London. That's the brand. I just got it off of Amazon. It looks like a mess. I'm so far behind on this. Like, I'm a year behind on this, and I started this a year ago. So, but I decided I wanted to put fun stickers on it that match the color. And then this one again is scrapbooky. I've got a ton of stuff in here that I need to put in. But like my entry page and this page I'm still in the middle of. This page I'm blocking addresses from when my friend sent me a pen pal. This one from when I went to a yarn store. I went to the zoo. So I'm very far behind. So that's what this one is for. So I've got a ton of junk saved up to use in it. I just actually need to use it. So that is this one. I am excited about it because I have fun with it. I just like need to do it. And I did kind of stop because I ran out of tape, like the slidey tape. What is it called? This tape roller, whatever these are called. But I have more now, so I should probably finish it. Maybe, just a thought. And then these 2 are the final ones, and they sort of go hand in hand together. I actually should have 3 journals. I have this green one, and it looks exactly like this, but it's just a pale shade of green that I'm also planning on using this year for overflow. Yeah, why do I need 3 journals? So these are my reading journals for this year. But they're serving 2 separate purposes, and then the other green one that looks like this is going to serve the same purpose as this one. But my reading journal this year, my journal is like 320 pages, and I'm on page 220 of said reading journal. This reading journal only has 160 pages, so I know already that it's not going to be enough for me for what I intend to do with it. This one is going to be a multi-year long reading journal, so it's going to span many years. That's the goal, at least. There will be a separate video where I'm like doing an actual flip through of these, but these journals are, I basically have this much is start of setup. As you can see, my very unfinished map. But so it's start of setup, so it's got things like all the books I've read, all the books I buy, tracking series, I've got like book bingos and the A to Z challenge. So that's what's in the start, more or less. And then you're going to flip through. This is going to, I haven't done January, but this is going to be my January setup. And every month I am going to be tracking the books I've read, the books I've bought, my statistics page. So like how many genres I read that month, how many books I read that month, yada, 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 that kind of thing. And when I read the book. So I've got the one thing I have done on this page is a calendar. And then after these start of month pages, we get into review pages, which, let me pull my old journal, my current reading journal, because I'm planning on keeping this format. Why can I just not flip to a review page? Like this. So I fit 4 book reviews. I get the cover, the title, author, genre, format, and then I write my review. So I fit 4 per page, and yeah, that's this reading journal. As you can tell, this year's is very full. So that's what this green one is going to be for, and the second green one, because I've already used up like half the journal on setup pages, so I will definitely need more review pages. So that's this reading journal specifically. Also, both of these, I forgot to mention, are from Notebook Therapy. I love their journals. They're so cute. They're great quality. So that's that one. And this one I think is their Secret Garden journal, maybe. And this one is Japan something, I can't remember. But I love this one. It's so pretty. I love their spines together. And this one is my multi-year long reading journal. So this one is even less set up than the first one. But I'm going to keep a shelf. I haven't drawn out all these shelves, but a shelfie spread. So all of the books that I own throughout the time of me using this book, I will put in here. I'm undecided how I'm going to show that I unhaul books, but that is what it is. And then I have what are going to be multi-year long challenges. They are going to be, I looked up a list for like 100 books you should read before you die. So that's what all these are. I've written in pencil what the names are, and then when I read the book, I'm going to print out the cover. I'm going to print out a picture of the cover of the edition that I've read, because a lot of them are classics. So there's a lot of different editions, and then put it on and put the review on. So I've got many pages of this. And then the next one is going to be reading every country, or reading a book from every country. So I've started to write out all the country names, but it takes forever, and I'm only like halfway done. So that's why this one is going to be more of a multi-year challenge, or multi-year journal, because obviously I can't do all that in 1 year. So then when I'm done, so those are the start of journal setup pages. And then after that, I am going to use this as sort of like an aesthetic-y journal. As you saw in my journal that I'm using this year for my reading journal, the review pages are just straightforward, the picture, the review. But I want to make some fun, more creative ones, which I was doing for a bit in this journal. However, I just feel like I don't get to them in time, and I feel pressured to put them in the same month that I read them in. And this way, I can do them whenever. There's no pressure to put them within the month that I read them. I'm just gonna do like a start of year page, and on that start of year page, I will leave space to add like my favorites for the year, and then everything following that will be spreads that I made that year, and then I make the start of year spread for the next year, and then all that. So I will show you, since I do have some more fun aesthetic-y pictures in here. Like here's my ACOTAR spread and my Crescent City spread, because I finished both those series in the same month. But then I also do like single page spreads. I'm trying to find one that's a good one. Where's my Rose Bargain one? That's a good one. Here is my spread for the Rose Bargain. They go through a hedge maze, and I was like, yeah, I want to make the background a hedge maze. And then my All Roads Lead Here one is a little bit not as fun. But that's kind of the idea, is to give myself space to make fun spreads. Like this one, The Scholar in the Last Fairy Door, was really cute. I didn't do a whole lot for Daydream. But that was the idea for this one, is just to make it a little bit more scrapbooky and fun. So that's that. These are my 2 reading journals. I love them together. And then obviously the third one that looks just like this one. Then my memory keeping scrapbooky journal. And then my Substack journal, if that's what we're calling this. And then my knowledge commonplace. And then my bullet journal commonplace or something. I do have a few other journals that I didn't really talk about in this video. They look just like this one, but I use them for writing projects. So I've got 2 right now. One is for my projects. I have a title for it, but I don't know if I want to share it. I don't know why. I'm not going to do anything with it. I don't plan on publishing it. And then I have another project, a fantasy project, that I've got one for, but they're not like a day-to-day journal. Not that all of these are day-to-day journals, but they're I don't know. So I didn't feel like sharing them. So that's all I have for this video, for this second day of Hobbymas. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you somewhere else on the internet.